last, one of the most overpowered, one of the most controversial stands that have ever been created in this series has finally revealed itself, and that is Purple Haze. Yes. My God, I remember when I first read JoJo Part 5, and I remember how everyone was saying how this stand was way too OP to be in here, and the fact that they had to do something else with it. But that is for spoiler territory that I will not tread upon just yet. Let's just stick with this episode for now, which mainly directs on Fugo, which I said before is one of my favorite characters. Now, Fugo, as we all see, is a very highly intelligent person. He is, you could say he has ODC, or if I'm saying it correctly, where he is very up to point about everything. Everything has to go a certain way to perfection for him. He's also extremely intelligent kind of person, to the fact that he went to a university at the age 13. But then again, that's only because of nobility, which is around the world, where your parents and everyone else put so much expectations into you because of your nobility, so therefore you're forced to leave behind your childhood and study your ass off in order to please your parents and everyone else in the freaking world but yourself. So because of this, he didn't know a way to release his stress. He could create a form of temper that he had problems controlling, to the point where he was about to pull a knife on his dad because the dad was pushing him so hard to be something way advanced. Like, you should be proud of your son. The fact that he got into a university at the age 13, that is crazy. I haven't seen anything like that since Negi from Negima. We see young people going to university, so you should be proud as it already is. Then again, Negi graduated when he was 10 years old, so that's out of his world. But that being said, his childhood wasn't really that tragic, but probably him leaving his nobility was probably for the best for him because of his temper. It seems like no matter what, he himself didn't matter, but the name that he carried mattered more than he himself, which really sucks. But how it is when you live a very high class of nobility, where it's all about reputation and keeping a perfect image of yourself, which really sucks. And to the point where you have to endure a lot of terrible things, such as molestation, which was shown in this episode. One of his professors trying to do some very naughty things, invite him over for a nice warming meal, and because of that, he got in a very rage where he thought school would be the place where he would find some security, but unfortunately, nope, no security for him at school, man. He just lost it and just beat the holy hell out of him. But despite what happened, and this is true, this happens a lot in real life, where a scandal like this gets across, everyone doesn't see the teacher like that, but instead feel like the victim. It feels like today's day and age where the victim isn't the victim no more. The one that has been harmed and subdued is the one that's now being judged and punished. That's how it is today, which really, really I cannot stand. But that's just the world we live in. A world of complete ignorance. Despite the investigation, despite knowing what the teacher did, all he saw was a guy that was beat the hell out of. Because most victims really don't fight back, even if their lives are on the line. Which is just fucked up, in my opinion. Hell, we just had a recent case where a woman was sentenced to almost 51 years for defending herself, her own life, compared to others who actually molested someone and only got a couple years in prison. That's messed up. But let's continue on with Fugo. Fugo had nowhere else to go since his parents disowned him, and he had nowhere else to go, so he just pickpocketed and dined and dashed until he met Butarachi. And Butarachi said he will find a way to put his anger in use. That was the problem. No one ever took Fugo's anger and tried to put it into a use where it will be useful for everyone. So Butarachi, being the great leader that he is, found a place for him inside his gang in Passione. Now, let's talk about his stand. His stand, like I said before, is highly controversial and is said to be too overpowered for its own good. It's a very dangerous stand that attacks indiscriminately. A stand with a very interesting personality that represents all his violent tendencies. And by that is how it's extremely aggressive, angry, and it also likes being clean. In a way, it represents Fugo a lot. his anger points, his violent points, that is. And with that being said, what is his power? It releases every time it hits, it punches. Part of his knuckles, so the yellow part of his knuckles will release a certain bacteria around anyone that's in the area, around 5 meters to say, and if anyone gets affected, will die within 30 seconds. Anyone. The stand will attack friend and foe, so it's a very dangerous stand. And it's so dangerous that it's said that Fugo rarely uses his stand for how dangerous it is. So it makes you wonder, can you control your stand, what your stand can be based on your personality or your dreams in life? That probably might be a way to really create your stand manifestation. This is where I was reading in the books where I really understand how you can get your own stand, and you can actually choose how to get your own stand. It is determined on your own personalities, your dreams, your future, your past. Anything that affects you the most is what will create your stand. So ever since then, I'm like, yo, man, if I get a stand, I already know what I'm going to do. But seeing other stands, I'm like, we'll see. With that being said, we also get the enemy stand called Man in the Mirror, not Mirror's Man. And in a way, this draws flashbacks to a previous stand back in part 3 of Stardust Crusaders, which reminded me a lot of that fight, actually. But this one is more direct, as you can see. So Man in the Mirror grabs people and puts them into the mirror world. You can tell by it when you look at signs, letters, and numbers where they're backwards instead of them being forwards. So there you can tell you're in the Man in the Mirror. However, you cannot bring your stand into the Man in the Mirror, which really sucks for you. But however, that being Fugo's stand, who knows the possibilities of what can happen. This stand is very interesting, but it seems that a mirror or a reflectional piece is required. So as a stand, I myself don't be that interested in. Hell, I was more interested in Little Feet. Don't be wrong, the design of Man in the Mirror, it looks pretty cool. You know, it has the black and white. It kind of looks like a Motor Gang person. But besides that, the stand itself don't really interest me, because it seems more like a trap stand than actually offensive stand, despite it having some very interesting high fast attack rate. I highly doubt it's really that dangerous if you discover how to find a way to get out of there. Speaking of that, Jirno and Abakio still squabble, and Jirno believes he needs to help Fugo find a way to get his stand out, while Abakio believes they need to go get the key, follow orders to a T. Now, let's talk about these two relationships right quick. Why does Abakio can't stand Jirno so badly? It's not because he feels like Jirno's going to cause them one to get killed one day, but it's something else. As we've seen in Abakio's past, he screwed up the day he did not follow orders, the day he did not go by the code of law, where he let someone get away through bribery. Ever since then, he regretted it ever since that day and vowed to always follow orders to a T. However, you see someone like Jirno, who is young and fresh, who is willing to do for the sake of his friends over the mission in order to help someone else out. So, in a way, you could say Abakio probably sees what he used to be inside of Jirno, and he can't stand it. He feels like probably if Jirno goes down his road, he will regret someday being kind and courtesy. Because right now Jirno is like, yes, getting the key is important for the daughter's boss, but at the same time, we shouldn't leave our comrades behind if there's a possible chance to save him. So that being said, Abakio probably can't stand it and feeling a sense of guilt. Having Jirno around probably reminds too much of himself in the past, which is once again understandable. That's one thing I like about these characters in JoJo. Each character has their personality traits down to a T, to the point that they feel so three-dimensional that it's amazing. So yes, that is it for the first part of Man in the Mirror and Purple Haze. I can't wait to see what happens next, because, it's always good to see these stand battles, because you never know how are they going to win. We know they're going to win, but the question is how. That's what I look forward to in these things. So anyways, that's all I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, rate, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you get notified every time I upload. This is Madcrownxox, signing out.